prepared for these guys twice in each of the last 2 years. How much do you fall back on some of that this week?
Yeah, for sure. I think you definitely studied what you've done. We beat them last year. I think that it's fortunate to be able to throw a few touchdowns on them. They're a really good defense. They don't give up much. They do a really good job. They're one of the top defenses in the National Football. We've got to be ready to play our best game, and we respect who they are and what they've done. They obviously won 2 Super Bowls, and it's real. 2 Super Bowls in the last couple of years.
So what is it about the blitz package that Spags deploys that's just been so effective?
Yeah, I think Spags is one of the all-time great defensive coordinators. You think about the things he's been able to do. I have so much regard for him. I've gone against him a lot of the years. And I remember even when I was in Seattle, went against him. We played the Chiefs and all that. He just does a really good job of mixing it up and challenging the defense. And to blitz us a lot and to do different things. So it makes it really challenging for us as an offense, and we got to do our job.
When you see how the Chiefs have won, they've won 14 games, but when you see how they've won in close games, how much does that give you to just keep within striking distance and have a chance at the end?
Yeah, I think that a lot of the National Football League games are always close, but they've done a really good job this year in particular of winning these close games. Even when the game hasn't gone their way, the whole game or whatever it is, they find a way. That's what championship teams do. They find a way throughout the season. And I think that, for us, I think it's getting to the fourth quarter, understanding that we got to be rock solid in the fourth quarter.
Pat Freiermuth had been on a 3-game touchdown streak before the last game. Are there things that you guys need to do to get him the ball more? Is it all kind of just the pace of play as far as when he gets his targets?
I think anytime Pat touches the football for us is a good thing. He helps us, really attack the field vertically, attack it in the edges. He knows how to get first downs for us. He did a good job picking up some big first downs last week, and so we trust him in every way.
Russ, you've been in the league a long time. You've seen pretty much everything. When you get to this point in the season where things matter even more and you hit a rough patch, what do you kind of lean on your experience and what do you try to impart upon the rest of the team there?
Yeah, I think the exciting part is we're right where we want to be in the sense that we got a chance to come home in front of our own fans and play in front of the best fans in the world. And I think that opportunity to play, on Christmas Day, play, the defending world champs and who they are and what they've done. It's a great opportunity for us, and it really is a testament to who we can be. I think that ability to respond in the right way. Every great team I've been on, there's been ups and downs. There's been a lot more ups throughout the season. We've had a lot of ups this year. There's always a speed bump in the way, and without that adversity, without those challenges, you don't grow. I think part of the harvest of it all, is got to be a little rain in the midst of it all. And so I think that we're going through it in a good way. And I believe that we have a great opportunity to respond in a great way. And so we're excited about it. We're excited about the opportunity to play just the game that we love. The joy of that is one of the best things too. And we're excited about the opportunity.
I wanted to get a chance to ask you this last week, we didn't get into, but after the Eagles game, Jalen Hurts approached you and he said, he looked up to you because you opened doors for him and people like him. What else did you guys talk about, and what did that mean to you to get that moment with him?
I think coming into the National Football League in 2012, and there's only a few young black quarterbacks. It was Cam Newton, myself, Robert Griffin, Tyrod Taylor was one of them, Colin Kaepernick. There wasn't many of us, to be honest with you. I definitely wasn't many short ones. I think Michael Vick was, a guy who set the tone. I know a guy from Virginia. For the shorter guys, I think obviously guys I watched growing up, Donovan McNabb and so many others, Randall Cunningham, and just some great quarterbacks, Dante Culpepper, and just guys that I really admired growing up, that did it before me. And there's guys before them, and so I think that just to be able to be a part of history of this game, to be the second black quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl is a real dream come true. Just to win a Super Bowl, but also the history behind it. Also, when everybody tells you can't do something, to be able to accomplish it is real. And so, for me, that's why I love just trying to help other guys and lead them in any way, whether if it's Justin or different guys across the league that I've gotten to know and try to inspire, no matter what your skin color. But just it is uphill battle sometimes, especially when I came in the league, and so. It hadn't been done before besides Doug Williams, So I think just seeing guys like Patrick and other guys too that have, created paths as well alongside others is really a blessing.
So
Russ, has your role changed now, Russ, you're who you are and the
Say
road
again.
is getting narrow?
Say again.
Does your role change? What's your job now with this thing kind of hanging in the balance?
To go
here?
win. That's it. That's all I'm focused on.
As a peer, Russ, like, when you see Patrick play, what do you appreciate about him?
You know, I think his ability to make extend plays is really remarkable. You know, I think gotten to play him over the years and just some of the things he's been able to do. I remember the first time I played him in Seattle. You know, we were going back and forth, me and him, and just on the field, he made a play, I would make a play, vice versa, and just it was just a remarkable game back and forth. It was one to watch and experience, and so I just remember that, and I remember, you know, all the things he'd been able to do over the years, and you know, he's a special player. He's a high character guy, a guy who works his tail off, and so I hold him in high regard, obviously, not just because of what he's done on the field, but because of who he is off the field, and I really respect that.
Obviously, you're not going.
To not get caught up into a one-on-one battle, but how much does playing against a guy like that, where you go back and forth making big plays, make you kind of try to elevate your game in the middle of that?
Yeah, you understand that, you know, when he's going to make plays, you know, we have to make them too. We've got to find ways to make them and do different things. I'm excited about who we are. It's not just 1 versus 1, though. It's 11 versus 11. That's the great part about this game. It's the part that I love more than anything else. And you know, we have to respond great in all 3 phases. You know, they're great in all 3 phases. We are too when we're on our stuff. And so we're excited about that opportunity to do that in front of our fans.
Russ, how
When
would
you
you
look at the
describe
way that, you know, Jalen Hurts came up to you after that game, the fact that you played him, Lamar, now Patrick, what does it kind of mean to you to see that not only are there more black quarterbacks in the league, but you're a part of these battles with kind of the next generation coming up that all look up to you?
Yeah, it's cool to see. It's cool to experience. It's cool to be in the midst of it. I think that when when it's all said and done for me, hopefully 5 to 7 years from now, hopefully 7, when we get to look back at it, you're able to say, you know what, this was one of the coolest parts of my life, to see the growth of the game, growth of the game for black quarterbacks, the growth of the game, the continued growth of the game of guys who've been before us, and just, it's just cool to see, and I also, love seeing guys, become head coaches too, obviously guys like Michael Vick and others, and just it's a real thing, and I'm just grateful for the opportunity to play the game that I love every day.
Russ,
How
would you describe the impact George makes with your group?
Yeah, I mean, George is a special player, man. He's been special for us all year. In my opinion, he's one of the best receivers in the National Football League, without a doubt. The things that he can do with the football and his catching radius is remarkable. So I think the best thing that he brings is he strikes a fear in that defense. We got some guys. I was talking to Coach Tom Arth, a little bit, on the side of the practice today. I was like, one of the you try to find the light in everything, and I was saying to him, one of the best parts is really seeing the guys that we do have. Watching Calvin Austin just become this, star-studded receiver in front of our eyes, and he's continuing to grow, he's continuing to work, is really special. Seeing guys like Van continue to make plays for us, the seam ball he ran, guys who step in like Ben Skoranek, and obviously Scotty Miller's been clutch for us. Mike Williams has been clutch for us in key moments. So there's a lot of trust that's been built with the receiving room, and because of the time and attention that we've put into the work. And George is obviously the lead candidate of all that. He just does a tremendous job of getting the extra work on the side, and he loves the game. And there's only so many people in the world, and you can count them on one hand that can do what he can do.
As a vet,
Last one here.
As a vet, he's missed the first 3 games of his career. Have you tried to coach him up a little bit, help him through that? What does that look
Yeah,
like?
for sure. I think a big part of it is his treatment habits. He's done a good job of that. I think that the training room has done a phenomenal job of getting him back. I think also too, I think the best thing about George, he loves ball. You don't have to worry about him being around football and him being on the sidelines and engaged. You guys have seen it, and I've talked about it a few times. He's been great in the midst of his little trial here over the past few weeks, and so we're excited to have him back, if that's the case fully, and